Hello there, world. My name is Grace Carney, and today I am speaking on behalf of the Michigan Justice Advocacy to address the Good Time Bill and the impacts it can have and has had on our country. If you aren't aware of what the Good Time Bill is fighting for, please take a quick look at our last video or feel free to check out our website. First, I would like to begin by addressing something called the First Step Act. First Step Act, which was an act signed by Trump in 2018, focuses on two goals: sentencing reform and prison reform. More information can be found on this slide or on the article it came from, which is linked in the description below. But the main point is that a big part of this goal is to reorient prisons around rehabilitation rather than punishment. This is where the Good Time Bill comes into play. By rewarding prisoners for good behavior, we are encouraging them to repeat said behavior. This is specifically incorporated within the First Step Act when it comes to participating in services, activities, or programs that educate prisoners about how to handle life outside of prison in a variety of ways, including behavioral therapy and drug education. When prisoners participate in said programs, they earn time credits, which can lead to an early release. Unfortunately, even with the amount of money given to the First Step Act in an attempt to enforce it, it might not be enough. This is a huge reason as to why states like Michigan don't already have good time in place. If these programs aren't pushed, then states aren't aware of the benefits they have on not only prisoners, but the state budget as well. It's also a huge reason as to why the First Step Act hasn't gone very far since it was passed in 2018. But the fact remains, the country has recognized that prisons need to be more focused on reform. If that's the case, shouldn't Michigan realize it too? Another point I wanted to mention before moving on is the limits to the Good Time Bill. Although it differs from state to state, the limits for good time in relation to the First Step Act specify that a person cannot use time credits unless they have a bed in a halfway house if looking to transfer there, and have proved that they are less likely to commit a crime than when they first entered. The former is out of their control, but the latter is exactly what MJA is fighting for: a chance to make prisons a reform center, not a holding cell, until they have the chance to commit the same crimes all over again. Now, let's move on from what the Good Time Bill can do and what it has done after being implemented. For example, in 1997, the New York legislature established a new good time program that allowed certain inmates to earn up to 1/6 reduction in sentence length. By 2006, the program had saved taxpayers an estimated $387 million. Additionally, the early release inmates were found to have lower recidivism rates than nearly all other comparison groups. And recidivism refers to the likelihood of them coming back to prison. Another great example of the Good Time Bill and its effects are what happened in Washington. Analysis conducted after Washington expanded its Good Time program in 2003 revealed small but statistically significant reductions in the recidivism rates. Oh my God. Overall, researchers calculated that the benefits of expanded good time far outweighed the costs, with about 1.88 in benefits for each $1 in cost. Overall, the Good Time Bill has the power to do a lot of good in prison systems and to communicate to the incarcerated what they need to do in order to be successful. If the federal government understands this, then we have to help the state government understand it as well. Please sign the petition on our website, link in the description below. Thanks so much for listening. Spread the word.